At this time, if there's anybody here who would like to say a few words, you can pass the mic around. If not, we can move on.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is Danny. I was lucky enough to know Rima within the last year of her life, and I'd like to say that she changed me for the better, and she completely changed my outlook on life just in the short time I was able to know her. Because despite all of the struggles that she was going through, she was absolutely the most positive person I had ever met. And every time I entered the house, she was always a shining light. And even though she's absent, I still feel her light there, and I see it shining through Eva.
Hi, I'm from Sutter General. There's a lot of Sutter General people, a lot of medical people here today who've had the pleasure of meeting her and seeing her perform in surgery, where she was just a joy and beautiful, wonderful to her patients. Just an absolute beautiful person that we all will miss. And we just think that this is the best thing here because these people have all shown so much love, and we will forever keep her on the top of the heap as far as being one of the best people to ever work with and the most wonderful doctor that could ever be. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Simpson. I've known Ellen for some time and Rima for not quite as long, but Ellen and I got to know each other when we were both young professionals. We're much older professionals now, but I had the pleasure of knowing Ellen when we were both young attorneys, and we were both dating at the time and trying to find the right person for us. And I remember Ellen was at my wedding, one of the ushers at my wedding, but I'd seen Ellen through a variety of different dating relationships over the years, and always wondering to myself, what was Ellen, what really was he looking for? What was he looking for? And I guess the answer to that is when I met Rima, he was looking for everything, and that's what Rima was. Everyone else fell short, but she didn't. And when I met Rima, it was evident to me that that's what he was waiting for, and that's what he found. So it was a treasure knowing Rima, and it was a real pleasure to know Ellen and Rima together. And I'm glad that he found everything because he waited a long time and he got what he deserved. So thank you, Ellen, for letting us into your lives, and thank you for letting us get to know Rima.
I met Rima in the summer of 2006 when I became a new nurse at Sutter General Hospital. It can be kind of a tough crowd over there, and I always remembered she was so welcoming and so kind, and she was so easy and fun to work with. She was ironic and sarcastic, and there were times I liked to meet her irony. I remember times that she would let the phone that was right behind her keep ringing and ringing and ringing, and I would go over and answer it and say, Dr. Aurora's phone, and then she would laugh and say, I hate to answer the phone because it's never anything good. So anyways, she and I both got pregnant pretty much the same time, and so my son is now 8, and I see so much of Dr. Aurora's beauty in Eva. And with my friend Amy, who was also diagnosed with cancer, and we all worked together. Sometimes we would go out to lunch with Rima. And I remember that she was so profound, and she had said to me and Amy, I'm actually grateful that I had the diagnosis of cancer because it changed my whole outlook on life. And it gave me so much appreciation for every day and every relationship And we would talk about extensively how in your life, if love does not lead in all the things that you do, then you've done it for naught. And so we just loved every time that we were able to get together and have lunch with her. And I think our last time that we were able to do that was March of 2015. And we just wanted to say that we're really sorry for your loss and that we loved her and missed her.
My name is Olivia, and I'm Rima's niece, and I love her very much. And you guys all say that she's gone, and to me, she isn't gone. She's still with us as long as we think about her and realize that she's still in our hearts. And one of my fondest memories of her was when I was Eva's age. She had asked me, my cousin Kara, here with me, and my sister Anissa, to bring out her ultrasounds and tell everyone her gender, tell my family what gender Eva was. And it was so, I remember it was so nice for us to do it because I was her age. Like, she's gonna be me one day, she's gonna do this, I'm gonna be a big part of her life, all that. And Rima was so beautiful, so funny. Even in her struggles, she was still always wanted to make everyone else happy. And she thought about everyone else in her life before hers. I don't know what other word to put as in she was just so caring and nice and funny and beautiful. So I thank you all for being here.
Hello, thank you all for being here today. It is a balm on an open wound to see how Rima was cherished by so very many people. As many of you know, I am her little sister, Alicia. Being the younger of two siblings, my basic existence was defined by her. By chronology, younger. By height, shorter. By personality, louder. It is no surprise then that my first memory in life is of Rima. Specifically, I remember being a toddler, diligently following Rima in pursuit of doing whatever it was that she was doing, confident that I needed to be doing it also. In this case, though, it was getting rid of her annoying younger sister. At the top of the basement stairs, she closed the door quite firmly in my face. I was too short to reach the doorknob, so I was stuck with my dad and the 5 o'clock news. When I aired this memory years later, our mom claimed that it must have been an accident. Rima claimed ignorance. I stayed up all night after the door incident, plotting and eventually successfully stealing her prized Barbie phone, only to find out some 20 years later that she had absolutely no idea. She didn't even remember the phone. Turns out it was only prized by me. The annoying thing about Rima, if you happen to be a younger sibling bent on retribution, was that she was actually quite nice and rendering retaliation completely futile. In high school, stealing her clothes had the same effect. No change in her sunny disposition, though my clothes would continue to go missing at a regular pace. By college, I would say we, but rather I, had finally learned to buy clothes to share or else purchase in duplicate to gift to her. Later in life, we would serendipitously show up on family vacations from our opposite coasts wearing the same thing, at most in different colors. Most of the fights of our childhood, I realized later, were not fights at all, but sitcoms she carefully orchestrated for her own entertainment. She didn't ask for a younger sibling, but from day one, she always knew how to make the best of a bad situation. I helped by making my buttons really easy to push. It is disorienting to hear these lovingly recalled stories of Rima's kindness, beauty, and intelligence. Every word is true. But I did not exist in a world without Rima from the beginning. She came into your lives, but I crash-landed into hers, howling, ignorant, and unapologetic, with no choice for her but to tolerate the intruder. Her presence for me was as ubiquitous as oxygen and as light. Awkward, unwieldy plant that I was, a wild and thorny rosebush to her elegant calla lily. Her upright presence trained me to grow under her direction, supporting and defining each other in symbiosis. Our DNA shared, I never thought to examine her presence, as one takes for granted the right limb as an incontrovertible companion to the left. Until that limb is lost, and with it one's balance, then only is pain felt, inflamed all the more by belated recognition of what is no longer. As an adult, I finally gained enough maturity to begin to value her unsolicited advice, bruising as it could be at times. She claimed it was her job as a family member to be honest for my own good, whether I appreciated it or not, and typically she was right. I remember facing overt sexism for the first time in my residency training and her dismissive response. "Haven't you figured out yet?" she laughed. "As a woman, you have to work 10 times as hard to be considered half as good as a man. So stop complaining and work harder." Her words, spoken casually and confidently as they were, gave me the strength to do exactly that, and I am the better for it. I am humbled by how Rima faced life head-on and by how hard she fought for her life. I marvel at her courage and grace and lack of self-pity, especially through the last years of her life. I became a wife and a mother under the shadow of her encroaching death, wondering each day if a text from her meant she was in the hospital again, or just that she saw something funny on Ellen. She overextended herself time and again out of love for her family. She cherished Eva with a love like no other. She brought herself, her heart pump, and a suitcase full of life-sustaining medical equipment across the country to meet her niece, my daughter Elia. Being sisters, doctors, wives, and now a mother too, I mourn the loss of an opportunity to be even closer with her, as much as I mourn what closeness we managed to have. I had trouble choosing a reading for today as Rima and I diverged greatly in literary taste, agreeing only on vogue and in style. So I asked Patty Brown, Rima's longtime friend and supporter through her journey with cancer, for insight into a passage that was significant to Rima. So thank you, Patty, for your help. Rima, interested from an early age in what is now called alternative medicine, delved deeper into the studies of life mysteries during recent years. As her health took inexplicable twists, and as her meticulously planned life began to disintegrate, she found a sense of equilibrium, I think, in the spirituality of accepting the unknown. The following passage is an excerpt taken from Dr. Rachel Naomi Reman's book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, Stories That Heal. Patty shared with me how significant this passage was to Rima over the years, and I saw immediately why it captivated her. Rachel writes, "I no longer feel that life is ordinary. Everyday life is filled with mystery. The things we know are only a small part of the things we cannot know but can only glimpse. Yet even the smallest of glimpses can sustain us. Mystery seems to have the power to comfort, to offer hope, and to lend meaning in times of loss and pain. In surprising ways, it is the mysterious that strengthens us at such times. I used to try to offer people certainty in times that were not at all certain and could not be made certain. I now just offer my companionship and share my sense of mystery, of the possible, of wonder." Rima had the pleasure of meeting Rachel in person. Rachel sent a note to express her condolences at Rima's death with a kind message. "Rima was a beautiful, extraordinary, and very brave woman and a light in this world. I am thinking of your family, and I'm so sorry for your loss. We wish you strength in this difficult time and send all of our love and respect." Rima and I started out on the same road in life, and then by choice and by circumstance, our paths separated. Often they ran in parallel: medical training, residency, marriage, and motherhood. But just as often they were out of sync. She was always, by definition, ahead of me, and in more ways than I know even now. Ultimately, Rima's experiences with cancer took her far away from us, and then a little further yet, to a place of mystery that few of us will understand in this lifetime. When we were little, she often cajoled me to navigate social situations for the both of us. I assumed for years it was out of shyness and sought to protect her. At their wedding, I charged Alan cluelessly with the same duty. I realized later, especially in the last few years, that she was never shy. Good at delegating, but never shy. She was the brave one, the trailblazer, the protector, the one who was forced in her lifetime to confront the deepest fears and essential challenges that most of us will be lucky to forever keep hidden in the dark recesses of nightmares. She stood tall and courageous, battle after battle, willing herself forward to meet the next confrontation with grace and with beauty. All of my life, I was used to seeing her in the distance, her long legs always a few steps ahead, her perfect hair tossing impatiently as she glanced backwards for me to catch up. Now I feel the surreal march towards growing older than her, and yet I'm still behind. I wish fervently that somewhere, someplace that is beautiful and joyous, I will find her when I finally catch up. Thank you all for coming.